Hello and welcome to another episode of Not BIOS. Today I'm talking about monitor manufacturer specs do not add up. Because almost all specs are exaggerated. They don't tell you what the catch-22 is because there is a lot to go over here. Now let's get started. Now, you may have seen different things, such as nits of brightness. You have monitors with HDR, but they don't even meet the minimum specs. For example, the 27GL850. But HDR 1000, for instance, is 1000 nits of brightness. Most monitors are only around 350. But have you ever thought, is there a reason they're not all HDR 1000 or 800? Well, there is a good reason for that. Part of the reason is you can't just shoot a bunch of light into a monitor that has a backlight and expect it to look decent at all. In fact, almost any TN panel monitor or IPS, if you shoot more light into it, your blacks are going to have so much light going through it, it's going to look horrendous. So 100% brightness at about 344 nits. Now looking at this, about 700 nits of brightness simulated. Now side by side at 344 nits max brightness versus say 700 nits simulated, you can see how bad that black level looks. And to get one concern out of the way, the blacks on screen still look black. It's just so much light is going through the black on the screen, it looks awful. So now the thing is, how do you solve this issue where you can get your brightness and still get contrast ratio? This thing stopping the 27GL850 and like from having a higher contrast ratio is that backlighting just bleeding through. If you had local dimming, that would improve it a bit, but that's still messy and can shine through parts of the image. The better option would be quantum dots, or coming technologies like mini LED and also micro LED. But it seems that micro LED is going to be going to a hybrid format. But isn't just simply having more better? Well, I've seen cases where you have a really high gamut and you get color banding because I guess there's probably too much separation. You got only a certain number of colors to deal with, or it could be just crappy monitors. A lot of this wider gamut is going to be effective for HDR content, but what is HDR content if you can't display it correctly? Now there is actually much more about manufacturers not giving you the whole story. There are so many monitors that say they're 1 millisecond response time, or even claiming 4, but yet they're 8 or something else. And then they'll do something that causes reverse ghosting, just going too far, pushing the spec through overdrive to a point it's ridiculous and doesn't work because you get all artifacts and stuff. This is all to meet numbers. If you're buying to numbers and buying into those, here's your specs, I tested on little programs. I just want to pull my hair out, and apparently I pulled it all out and that's why I'm bald. Because people keep on saying, it has this contrast, it has this, and they don't tell you, what does the contrast ratio mean? Well, what does it mean? Does it have any color banding? No one's talking about it. Does it have problems with the grayscale? I still hear nobody talking about it. Because a lot of VA panels, for instance, not all of them, but some of them, to get by that smearing of the grays that they can have in fast movement, reduce their colors of gray, like the scale of gray. This looks horrid. I'm going to be leaving a link below to Engadget. This video is called Monitor Specs Are Nonsense. Coming soon are more videos in the history of tech companies. Where they went, where they're going, companies related. Also, leave a comment below of what you'd like to hear and see on my 100 subscribers special. Thank you for watching and have yourselves a wonderful day.
This is not BIOS, Tech and Hardware.